artificial intelligence, and my guests, Grigory and Mini. Guys, please introduce yourself.
Hello,
Grigory, you should be first. Yeah.
my name is Grigory. I'm CTO and co-founder of Intento. I'm PhD in artificial intelligence, and as well I'm Google development expert in machine learning. So we currently run a startup that helps businesses to use cloud cognitive AI. So I like this field from my childhood. So I'm deeply involved in different waves of AI. So I like it so much. So it's my passion. So that's all.
Great. So hi, I'm Mini Suri. I'm a Chief Customer Success Officer for AI company or conversational AI company called Core.ai, Kore.ai. I have been always a vendor, always a customer. So I worked for Citi for many years. I was instrumental in bringing Citi as a bank into conversational side, as well as joined Uber as the head of COE for intelligent automation. And now I'm leading the customer success, the delivery side of Core.ai. So I basically work very closely with our customers to understand their challenges, problems, and how AI and the conversational AI is helping them solve that. So very interesting time, and it has been a journey. So really looking forward to this chat with all of you. Thank you. Okay. So
Where is Manana?
maybe it's Manana. Hello. So maybe we get started. I think into what are some of the challenges, right, that we see with AI. Maybe Gregory, you want to start, and then I'll chime in what I see my challenges. How about that?
Yeah, great. Actually, it's an interesting time right now. There is hype around AI. We see and hear a lot of promises and achievements, and AI is really transformed several industries right now. And, it's pretty productive, and that's really cool. So image recognition 10 years ago was completely different. Natural language processing was completely different 10 years ago. So we really see huge success right now, but we still have a lot of problems with AI. We still see a lot of overselling here, wishful thinking, and so on and so on. So AI is still far from human level AI. We need vast amounts of data to train anything reasonable, and AI still cannot learn in a way human learn. The classical example of 3 or 4 year children that can understand any new type of object in just one or several examples, and AI still cannot do this, and it's an important thing. So basically, we see narrow use cases that has pretty good performance, but generalization in AI is very poor right now, and I think we're still far from human level AI, and this actually limits a lot of adoption in different complex problems. For example, in science, in cases when we need human level control and reasoning and so on. So we're still in the era of narrow AI right now, and it's important to understand because we frequently hear and see examples and promises that AI will solve everything, but that's not the case for now.
That is correct, and I sort of agree with you. I must say, with our experience, especially the chatbots or virtual assistants, as we see different companies coming in this space, all sort of trying to solve that problem. What I think we have done, which is we are good or probably have gone better, is sort of a lot of repetitive, mundane aspect of business, like asking frequently asked questions, like customer queries, processing data using the APIs at the back end, something that we have been able to do that. Now, have we become very personalized or very intuitive or multi turns? We are getting there, and I know there is a fast progress that's being made. There are obviously a lot of advancement that is being made in NLP, but it is a journey. It is a journey. You have to really understand how NLP really works. You really have to understand how you train your models. You have to have the language component of it, because that's your UI. It's not a mobile UI. It's not a web UI. The language is your UI. So you really have to understand what is the data that you input and you use to train your models. What is your test data? What's your train data? And what is the chat that you design so that your chatbots and your virtual agents are able to work? However, I must say, pandemic had been a very interesting time. It has also accelerated this whole chatbot. We realized, especially with a lot of our customers, where people were all over the place, they were displaced, especially call centers. The agents were displaced. They could not take the calls. The customer experience went really, really bad. There was no one. Normally, humans would love to pick up a phone and talk to someone, but in this case, even a conversational virtual agent would have been a very helpful way of knowing certain frequently asked questions. Hey, where do I get my reimbursement on certain kind of benefits, or simple questions? Where is that particular thing have shifted because of pandemic? So those kind of questions were not answerable because there was nobody out there. So we see this has really definitely sped up the whole behavior of human behavior of using this conversational bots much more than we would see otherwise. We also see that especially some of the use cases have really been very, I would say, have yield your ROI. For example, ITSM, like IT support bots, right? Where is reset my password? Where do I find this? How do I order my computer parts? How do I basically restart my, or get a guidance on a particular software? So those kind of things have definitely added. HR bots we see bots across, within the employees to increase the employee productivity. We are also seeing a lot of external facing bots also. Now, the thing is with external facing bots, what we see is if the more the bot has those frequently asked questions or they have transaction flows, they're able to contain a lot of human or external user queries. This is a starting point. This market is definitely evolving. It has a lot that it can take. However, we are not there, as Gregory, you mentioned. We definitely, this needs a lot of advancement. Are we there? Not yet, but yes, we are there at the point where this technology is actually setting up footing. And we see some of the customers are getting their ROI. They're able to increase the NPS score. They're able to help or relieve their normal workforce to do something better. So yes, this is one UI that actually can become omni-channel, which makes it very powerful. It can translate from voice to text, from one channel, meaning it could be on Facebook Messenger, to your Lime, your Microsoft Teams, to any other channel that you may see. You could be having one single bot serving. So that omni-channel is a huge advantage. So I want to take a pause and see what would you like to add, Gregory, to this? Go ahead.
Mhm. Actually, I want to add that cloud technologies significantly changed the landscape in recent years. I like cloud AI because for me, it's kind of a way for democratizing AI. Say 5 years ago, if you want some kind of AI solution, you had to develop it on your own. You have to get a team of talented data scientists. You have to gather data. You have to build infrastructure for training models, for deploying them, and so on and so on. That was pretty hard, and not every company can afford it because there is a huge competition for such people. There are a lot of money to invest in these activities. So basically, businesses cannot use AI for a long time. But in recent years, I think situation changed significantly because right now you have a lot of cloud APIs for data processing, say for machine translation, speech recognition, image tagging, and so on and so on. That's cool because if you want to use any of these technologies to process your data, say in the call center and marketing and user communication in processing your company data, right now you don't have to build it on your own, and basically you cannot build it on your own because, for example, for building your own machine translation, you have to gather all the world's data to become another Google, and that's impossible. For many companies, that's not the core of their business, and they should not invest in these activities because it's side activities. It's not the main focus of their usual business. And now you really can use it from the cloud. It's cheap, and its quality is getting better each month. That's cool. That was the first game changer, just availability of this API in the cloud. So you have you made your integration or several integrations, and you use these services without need to invest in a lot of time and money into building your own solution. That's cool. And second significant change emerged, I think, a year ago. It's in Google, it is called AutoML, and in other services, it's usually called trained models or something like this. And now you have an interesting option to not use the basic model, the general model available for everyone. You can now train your own model on your own data. And it's important that now this data is still your data. A vendor cannot use this data to train their general models and provide other clients, maybe your competitors. And now you can easily fine-tune this model, update these models for your particular cases, and the quality of these models really better than general models. And again, you can basically procure and deploy and use these AI services without investing in infrastructure at all, without investing in top-level data science teams. You can focus on what's the core for your business and just use this solution from the cloud. That's really cool. I like it. And we work in this field, and we see that the landscape is very complex. There are no single best vendor. In many cases, you have to combine different vendors, but that's really cool because you can combine your own portfolio of vendors and get the best quality you possibly find in the web. That's cool. Um, I like this trend. I think we'll see much more customized models in the future, and
Yeah, that is
barrier,
true.
yeah, yeah. And barriers to entry in this field, they're basically very low now. almost every business can use any of these technologies. So I like it. It's
Yeah, it's very
great.
acceptable. Agreed. But I must add one thing, Gregory. What we have done, companies like Core.ai, they have democratized this software or this technology to end user, which means we have made building the bots, training the bots so easy that even a business can do. And the reason being, our platform provides a lot of these out of the, like those UIs that they are drag and drop. It helps you build the whole flow in maybe a few hours, and provides a very easy way where it hides the complexity of the models, which usually are very well known to the data scientists. But we are talking to the end user, we are talking to the enterprises, we're talking to the businesses, where the business users and IT now can work and build these conversational virtual assistant within for the employees or for the external customers. So again, this technology had to be made or be presented in a way that business could also build the flows. Now, we know the people who actually write the communication blogs, they're really good. They have a good communication way of teaching the machines to understand how human can talk in a chat, in a normal chat way. So we are looking at how we expand the talent beyond the data scientists, right? The data scientists have built the models. Now you have these platforms which are really extensible. They have these wonderful UIs, which allows the business team to actually go and use them very easily. So this is another step, and you see a progress that is being made so that we can bring this technology to our end customers. So that also I see is a big future where everyone and anyone would be able to build this kind of UI. And I see the future being where web and mobile kind of applications will die, because nobody wants to see a less interactive kind of UI. The UI will be all natural language, because that's how humans are born to communicate. And how we make our machines to understand us is obviously we see a lot of, as you mentioned, Gregory, that there is a lot that is happening on the models, right? I mean, these models are getting sophisticated day by day. There's a lot of progress that has happened just in 2018 and 2019 with GPT-3 and open space and all those, different models that are coming. We are seeing there's a quite a significant, advancement. So I think there are different players. You rightly said there are people who are doing in voice translation, right? There are people who are looking into languages. There are people who are looking into NLP as a whole, and then people like Core.ai, which comes and really have built this extensive products and these extensive platforms, and where they bring things closer to the end user. So that's where I see where the future of adoption of AI is going to increase, right? I mean, your thoughts to it.
That's really cool. I totally agree. Actually, we are in the same position as a company. We help enterprises to use this cloud AI in the end system they want AI in. For example, you have a customer support system, and in a typical situation, if you want to use some kind of AI solution in the cloud, you have to write several integrations to use this API, and another thing, you have to write kind of plugins into your system, and that takes a lot of time and effort for many companies, and typical enterprise have a lot of different systems, and in every system you want some kind of this solution. For example, we work in machine translation field. We drilled this field very, very deep, and we have a lot